Megan Thee Stallion unfollowed GloRilla because she used the Tory Lanez song.
GloRilla and Megan Thee Stallion, the friendship that exploded over one Instagram story. Y'all, the hip-hop world just witnessed one of the most shocking friendship breakups we've seen in years. And it all went down in less than 24 hours. Megan Thee Stallion just unfollowed GloRilla on Instagram. And before you say, so what? Let me tell you why this is sending shockwaves through the entire industry. These two were supposed to be sisters. They had each other's backs. They collaborated. They celebrated each other. GloRilla just posted a birthday tribute to Megan that had everyone in their feelings about female friendship in hip-hop. But now, that post is gone, archived, deleted, like their friendship never even existed. And the reason why is going to make your jaw drop. See, it all started with one Instagram story.
Let's be so fucking for real right now. Let's be so fucking for real. Wasn't Megan Thee Stallion the same person that did a track with Nicki and Cardi B when they had beef, and they just said it was a business move?
One seemingly innocent repost that GloRilla shared to her millions of followers. She was just vibing, sharing content like we all do every single day. But there was something playing in the background of that story. Something that would change everything. A Tory Lanez song. Yeah, you heard that right. The Tory Lanez, the same man who was convicted of shooting Megan Thee Stallion. The man who turned her life into a living nightmare. The man whose fans have been harassing and traumatizing her for years. And GloRilla, Megan's supposed friend, was out here bumping his music for the whole world to see. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the betrayal Megan must have felt scrolling through her feed and seeing that? Here's someone she trusted, someone she called sister, casually vibing to the music of the man who literally tried to end her life. But wait, it gets worse. This wasn't just bad timing. Megan had just posted on TikTok, literally hours before, about how she's still being harassed by Tory's fans. She opened up about the ongoing trauma, the daily attacks, the way people keep trying to gaslight her about what happened that night. She was vulnerable. She was raw. She was asking for support. And then GloRilla does this.
Meg, how can you expect loyalty but not give it in return? Glo just used Tory Lanez song in a reel. I'm not gonna lie, Tory Lanez song do be hitting though. Like, it wasn't like she went into court and was like, no, that bitch lied, she didn't get shot.
Now GloRilla came out quick with her defense. She claimed she didn't even realize it was a Tory song playing, said she was just reposting content without paying attention to the background music. And look, we've all been there, right? How many times have you shared something without catching every single detail? But here's where people started taking sides. Some folks were like, come on, GloRilla. You're in the industry. You know that voice. You know those songs. There's no way you didn't recognize Tory Lanez playing in the background. Others defended her, saying, y'all are reaching. People repost stories all day without analyzing the soundtrack. It was an honest mistake. But let me ask you something.
Have fun, let's kick back, let's get into a little tea. Let's not get too crazy, but let's enjoy the sip.
Clock that tea.
And I really want you to think about this. If your best friend had been shot by someone, if they were still dealing with trauma, still fighting for justice, still being attacked daily by that person's supporters, wouldn't you be a little more careful? Wouldn't you double check before posting anything that could be connected to their abuser? That's what has people questioning GloRilla's intentions. Because here's the thing about the hip hop community, and this is where it gets really deep. Megan has been fighting this battle almost alone. while Tory's got a whole army of supporters, including other artists who keep collaborating with him like nothing happened. Megan's circle of public support has been disappointingly small, and GloRilla was supposed to be different. She was supposed to be one of the real ones. So when Megan saw that story, she didn't hesitate. Unfollowed immediately. And not just that. She went back and archived that birthday post she'd made for GloRilla. The one where she was gushing about their friendship, calling her twin, talking about how proud she was of her success.
GloRilla had apparently unfollowed Meg. Meg had apparently unfollowed Megan. And, all is good within the hood.
Gone. All of it. And honestly, the streets were divided. Some people said Megan overreacted. They were like, girl, you could have just sent her a text. Why make it public? Why the dramatic unfollow? But others understood exactly why Megan reacted the way she did. Think about it. How many times does Megan have to be the bigger person? How many times does she have to privately handle disrespect while everyone else gets to be loud and wrong in public? When is enough enough? This woman has been through hell. She was shot. She had to fight for people to believe her. She watched the entire industry rally around her abuser. She's been called every name in the book, had her character assassinated, been made into memes and jokes, all for having the audacity to tell the truth about being a victim of violence. And now, even her supposed friends are out here, whether intentionally or not, supporting the man who did this to her.
Of course, I had to come back and give my opinion because, bitch, I don't give a fuck. Megan is still motherfucking toxic. And like I said in the intro, it got to be motherfucking exhausting sitting there trying to be her friend or trying to be anything towards her, anything to her.
Can you blame her for being done? But here's what really got me. And I want to know what y'all think about this in the comments. The timing of GloRilla's post wasn't just bad. It was suspicious. Because GloRilla isn't some random person who doesn't understand the weight of this situation. She's been around Megan. She's seen the pain. She knows what Megan goes through daily with Tory's fans. So even if it was an accident, how do you accidentally disrespect your friend's trauma that badly? Some insiders started spilling tea, saying this might not have been the first time GloRilla showed signs of not fully supporting Megan. They pointed out how she's been quiet during some of Megan's biggest battles, how she hasn't always used her platform to defend her sister when the attacks got vicious. Was this Instagram story just the final straw? But wait, because the story takes another turn. Within hours of the unfollow, heard around the world, people noticed something. GloRilla had deleted the controversial story. Not just that. Reports started coming in that she'd reached out to Megan privately. Now, we don't know exactly what was said in those DMS, but whatever went down,
because she's exhausting and it's pathetic at this point. It really is. It really is. And then a way that now that they're following each other, everybody is blowing smoke up Megan's ass. And girl, I'm over it all.
It must have been one hell of an apology. Because by the next morning, they were following each other again. The birthday post stayed archived though. Some things, once broken, can't be put back exactly the way they were. And this is where I need us to have a real conversation about friendship, loyalty, and what we owe the people we claim to love. See, it's easy to say it was just a mistake when you're not the one living with trauma. It's easy to demand that victims be understanding, forgiving, patient, always patient, while everyone else gets to be careless with their pain. But at what point do we start holding people accountable for their accidents? Because let's be real, If GloRilla had reposted a story with racist content playing in the background, would we accept "I didn't notice" as an excuse? If she'd shared something homophobic or anti-Semitic, would "I wasn't paying attention" fly? So why is it different when it comes to supporting an abuser? And that's really what this boils down to. When you platform Tory Lanez's music, whether intentionally or not, you're supporting him.
I'm over it all. I am over it all. Because at the end of the day, I feel like this. Girl, you knew what you was doing. You knew what you was doing. It's 2025. We all know how Instagram works, right? You so tired of your name being in people's mouths, and you so tired of drama, and you so tired of people harassing you and not leaving you alone. Yet you decided to pull a stunt in 2025, knowing how social media works and how social media reacts to social media.
You're putting money in his pockets. You're telling his victim that their pain matters less than a catchy beat. The hip-hop community has a serious problem with how it treats Black women who speak up about abuse. We saw it with Megan. We saw it with KK Palmer. We see it over and over again. This expectation that Black women should suffer in silence, stay strong, never show when they're hurt. But Megan said, "No, not this time. Not from someone who's supposed to be family, and honestly, good for her." Now, some people are saying Megan should have kept this private. That unfollowing GloRilla publicly just gave people more ammunition to attack them both. That it created unnecessary drama. But I'm asking, when Black women handle things privately, does it ever really change anything? Or do people just continue disrespecting them because there are no public consequences? Maybe it's time for these unfollows to be public. Perhaps it's time for people to see that there are consequences for being careless with someone's trauma. What's wild is that GloRilla could have turned this into a powerful moment.
So, like I said earlier, GloRilla basically had posted this song, and well, she actually posted a post, right? And like many people assume, she did not understand that, you know, when you post a post on Instagram, like, you know how like you
Imagine if, instead of claiming ignorance, she'd said, "You know what? I messed up. I wasn't thinking. And I want to publicly apologize to my sister and anyone else who was triggered by my carelessly reposting content with her abuser's music." That would have been growth. That would have been accountability. Instead, we got excuses. And while they might have reconciled in private, the public damage was already done, because now Tory's fans have more fuel. They're using this situation to claim that even Megan's friends don't really believe her. They're saying GloRilla knows the truth, and that's why she's listening to his music. They're twisting this whole situation to further their narrative that Megan is difficult, dramatic, and impossible to be friends with. Do you see how exhausting this must be for Megan? Every single day, she has to navigate a world that's constantly looking for ways to discredit her. Even her friendships become weapons in the hands of those who want to see her fall. But here's what gives me hope. The fact that they refollowed each other tells me that just maybe GloRilla.
But, you know, if you go to this link right here, click on that triangle, I believe that's the button from your iPhone. You can take a post and you can add it to your story. And so that is what GloRilla did.
Finally understood the weight of what she'd done. Perhaps she listened. Maybe she learned. Maybe she realized that being Megan's friend means being more intentional, more careful, and more protective of her peace. Because that's what real friendship looks like when your friend is healing from trauma. It's not just about the big gestures. It's about the daily choice to not add to their pain. It's about being mindful. It's about choosing them over everything else, including your own carelessness. Tell me in the comments, Do you think GloRilla's repost was really an accident? Or was there something deeper going on here? The refollow might suggest they've worked it out, but I can't help wondering if their friendship will ever be the same. Because once someone shows you they can be careless with your pain, how do you fully trust them again? This situation also exposed something darker about the industry. The fact that Tory Lanez still has so much support, that his music is still being played, shared, and celebrated, while Megan has to fight for every ounce of respect.
Hey, she saw a post that she liked and she decided to share it to her story. Now, that post happened to have a Tory song attached to it. Many people assume like, oh, well, maybe she just didn't know that, because like half the time, you don't realize like there's a song attached to it.
It's sickening. Where are the artists supporting Black women? Where are the men protecting them? Why is Megan still fighting this battle alone while her shooter thrives? GloRilla had a chance to be different. Her mistake revealed how lonely her fight is. But Megan keeps standing and fighting, demanding respect, even at the cost of friendships, making her seem difficult. Maybe that's the lesson. Protecting your peace may require letting go of those who can't handle your truth. Sometimes the unfollow button is self-care, and choosing yourself is the high road. The streets say GloRilla apologized, which is why they're cool now. But apologies don't erase impact, and impact matters in trauma. I hope the GloRilla realized that being in Megan's corner means being all in. No accidents, no excuses, and no gray areas when supporting abusers. Because if she doesn't get it now, she never will. And Megan deserves friends who get it, who understand without being taught, who protect her peace like it's their own and would never, intentionally or otherwise, support her abuser. That's the bare minimum. So where do they go from here? Only time will tell. Refollowing each other might be a first step toward healing, but real reconciliation takes more than clicking a button. It requires changed behavior and proving day after day you can be trusted with someone's pain. I'm rooting for their friendship. We need more examples of Black women working through conflict and emerging stronger. Friendships can survive mistakes if there's real accountability and growth. But I'm proud of Megan for standing up for herself, for demanding what she deserves, for showing us that it's okay to expect better from those who claim to love us. That's queen behavior. And no matter how this plays out, Megan Thee Stallion remains that girl. The one who survived, the one who thrived, the one who refuses to let anyone, friend or foe, disrespect her journey. And that's the energy we all need in our friendships. Period.